Black absorbs light, so why do people in hot regions have dark skin? The fact that black absorbs light is correct. However, having dark skin does not just mean absorbing light. Skin color is determined by the amount of melanin pigment present. Melanin pigment plays a role in absorbing ultraviolet rays. Therefore, the dark skin of people in hot regions is a result of evolution to protect the skin from ultraviolet rays. Hot regions receive a lot of sunlight with high UV intensity. Ultraviolet rays can cause skin conditions such as skin cancer, freckles, and pigmentation. Moreover, UV rays interfere with the synthesis of vitamin D, which is essential for bone health. People in hot regions increase the amount of melanin pigment to protect their skin from these UV rays. With more melanin pigment, they can absorb more UV rays and reduce skin damage. Additionally, melanin pigment also promotes the synthesis of vitamin D. Therefore, the dark skin of people in hot regions is not simply due to light absorption but can be considered as an evolutionary result to protect the skin from UV rays. The following is a specific explanation of why people in hot regions have dark skin. Prevention of skin cancer from UV rays. UV rays are one of the main causes of skin cancer. Particularly, UVB rays are known to pose a high risk of causing skin cancer. As hot regions receive abundant sunlight with high UV intensity, there is a higher risk of skin cancer. Hence, people in hot regions increase the amount of melanin pigment to protect their skin from UV rays and prevent skin cancer. Prevention of freckles, pigmentation, and similar conditions. UV rays can cause skin conditions such as freckles and pigmentation. As hot regions receive abundant sunlight with high UV intensity, the risk of such skin conditions is higher. Therefore, people in hot regions increase the amount of melanin pigment to protect their skin from UV rays and prevent freckles, pigmentation, etc. Promotion of vitamin D synthesis. Vitamin D is crucial for bone health and is synthesized through sunlight exposure. In regions with low sunlight exposure, there can be a deficiency of vitamin D. Hot regions have plenty of sunlight, reducing the risk of vitamin D deficiency. However, strong UV rays can hinder vitamin D synthesis. Therefore, people in hot regions increase the amount of melanin pigment to protect their skin from UV rays and promote vitamin D synthesis. Then, white skin reflects light and lowers the temperature. So why do people in cold regions with less sunlight have white skin? The reason behind the lighter skin of people in colder regions can be explained primarily by two factors. The first reason is to promote the synthesis of vitamin D. Vitamin D is synthesized through sunlight exposure, and regions with limited sunlight, like colder areas, have a higher risk of vitamin D deficiency. Therefore, people in colder regions reduce the amount of melanin pigment to absorb more sunlight and stimulate vitamin D synthesis. The second reason is for temperature regulation. Some argue that in colder regions, where sunlight exposure is limited and temperatures are lower, lighter skin helps increase resistance to cold. Light skin reflects light, aiding in maintaining body temperature. However, recent studies suggest that the lighter skin of individuals in colder regions is more closely associated with vitamin D synthesis. Indeed, the skin color of people in colder regions has been linked to genes that promote vitamin D synthesis. Therefore, the lighter skin of people in colder regions is not solely to reflect light for temperature control but can be considered an evolutionary outcome aimed at promoting vitamin D synthesis. The part one don't understand in the above two answers is that if light is absorbed, the temperature will rise, and if light is reflected, the temperature will drop. Please explain this part well. The reason why absorbing light raises the temperature is that light carries energy. When an object absorbs light, it converts that energy into heat. Therefore, objects that absorb more light experience a greater increase in temperature. Conversely, the temperature drops when light is reflected because the object reflecting light does not convert that energy into heat. Thus, objects that reflect more light experience a lesser temperature increase. However, temperature changes due to light absorption and reflection are not solely dependent on the quantity of light. The material and temperature of the object also play a significant role. For instance, black objects absorb more light, while white objects reflect more light. However, black objects have a higher thermal conductivity compared to white objects. Therefore, even when absorbing the same amount of light, black objects experience a faster temperature rise. Additionally, the object's temperature itself influences temperature changes. Objects at higher temperatures absorb more light than those at lower temperatures. Hence, objects at higher temperatures experience a quicker temperature rise compared to those at lower temperatures. Therefore, the temperature change due to light absorption and reflection is determined by various factors such as the object's material, temperature, and the quantity of light. Summarizing the points mentioned in the two answers. The reason why people in hotter regions have darker skin is not primarily for temperature regulation but rather for protecting the skin from ultraviolet rays. Melanin pigment absorbs UV rays, reducing skin damage. On the other hand, lighter skin in colder regions could serve the purpose of facilitating vitamin D synthesis. Vitamin D is crucial for bone health and is synthesized through sunlight exposure. Due to lower sunlight exposure in colder regions, there's a higher risk of vitamin D deficiency. Hence, people in colder areas reduce melanin pigmentation to absorb more sunlight and promote vitamin D synthesis. In essence, darker skin in hotter regions isn't primarily for temperature regulation but to protect the skin from UV rays. Meanwhile, lighter skin in colder regions might have a role in temperature regulation, but the primary reason appears to be promoting vitamin D synthesis.